With the recent news regarding items collected as evidence in the Idaho 4 case, I thought it might be interesting to talk about the FBI's Evidence Response Team, who they are, and what they do. The Evidence Response Team, or ERT for short, are made up of extensively trained experts in forensic science. FedAgent.com states that these teams are in charge of gathering evidence to use in court cases within the U.S. and abroad. Their goal is to secure, document, and collect evidence from crime scenes, ensuring that justice will be served in the courtroom. There are 56 FBI field offices, and each office has their own ERT team. These teams consist of anywhere between 8 to 40 people. All are extensively trained in how to process a crime scene, document it, and gather and package the evidence, so that the experts at the FBI laboratories in Quantico, Virginia, and Huntsville, Alabama, can assess the evidence for forensic information. In an article written by Homeland Security Today, it states, "The skill, knowledge, care, and precision of an evidence team can make or break a case." Carrie Shore, an instructional systems design specialist for the FBI's Evidence Response Team's training unit, said that if you mishandle a piece of evidence, it's someone's life. It is justice served or not served. If these teams don't do their jobs correctly, the impact on the back end is overwhelming. Some of the most common pieces of physical evidence that are found at a crime scene include fingerprints, tool marks, tire tracks, footwear impressions, hairs, fibers, glass, paint, or other trace evidence. The team has an array of forensic tools and procedures used in finding evidence that may or may not be visible to the naked eye. Some of these tools include an ultraviolet light to expose virtually invisible evidence, amido black, a dye used to discover latent prints, and one that really surprised me was the use of superglue fumes, discovered by the Japanese, that can enhance and preserve fingerprints that are present on a hard material. Regarding this case, we do know that a knife sheath with Koberger's DNA was found next to Maddie on the bed, as well as a latent footprint that may or may not belong to Koberger was found outside the bedroom of one of the roommates. We also have evidence through these photos that areas outside the home were taped off that may possibly contain footprints, tire tracks, or even traces of blood. And recently it was made known some of the evidence that was seized from Koberger's apartment in Washington. Some of the items included a black glove, 8 possible hair strands, a possible animal hair strand, and also some dark red spots and reddish-brown stains that may or may not be blood. Time will tell if these items will connect him to the murders that happened at 1122 King Road. According to the Daily Beast, it says, inside the residence where the 4 were stabbed to death, police found a significant amount of blood from the victims, including spatter and cast-off. The affidavit states that it makes it likely that this evidence was transferred to Koberger's person, clothing, or shoes. Time will tell if any of those stains found in Koberger's apartment will indeed be blood stains and will tie him to any of the victims in the Moscow murders. The Evidence Response Team has a 12-step process when they approach a crime scene. Some of these steps include securing and protecting a scene, depiction of a scene, whether it's through photographs or video. Also, one that I wasn't aware of and I thought it was quite interesting is that they actually have a sketch artist come in and recreate the scene of the crime. Another important step is to record and collect any evidence that can be sent for processing so that additional information can be retrieved and used in building a case where a victim will receive justice and the perpetrator the appropriate punishment. In one of the last press releases, dated December 30th of 2022, put out by the Moscow Police Department before the gag order was put in place, it says, "These murders have shaken our community, and I know that no arrest will restore the families or bring these young students back. However, we believe in the criminal process and continue to extend our most sincere condolences to the families," said Moscow Police Chief James Fry. Since November, investigators have been laser-focused on pursuing every lead in our pursuit of justice. This complex case took extensive work to develop a clear picture of what occurred, and I'm thankful to the dedication shown by members of the Moscow Police Department, Idaho State Police detectives, and crime lab technicians and scientists, and the Federal Bureau of Investigation for the resources and personnel to conduct this massive investigation. It was persistent determination and extensive hours spent unraveling this case that led to an arrest. In time, we'll come to know if that arrest will lead to the conviction of Brian Koberger, who is charged with 4 counts of murder in the first degree, as well as a felony burglary charge, and justice will be served in the deaths of Ethan Chapin, Xana Kernodle, Madison Mogan, and Kaylee Gonsalves.